I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Welcome back to the Millennial Classics. On this show, we talk about the best and most memorable movies, books, and culture-changing events from our generation. Mambunga, welcome back. How you doing today?
We're doing good. We're doing good. A little into the late night, but that's what we sacrifice.
I like that attitude. Golden Sun, this is book 2 of the Red Rising series. But listen, because I love this book so much and I want to get into the fucking nitty-gritty, we are separating it into 2 parts. This is Golden Sun Part 1, and we start off how we always start off. I think this is the most well-known cover of the book, right?
Well, the other covers are more or less feather on it. It's on fire.
Yeah.
The only one that's different is Dark Age. It's just a snake.
Exactly.
I think this one hands down. Immediately, you get what's happening. He's golden. There's a fire. He's coming out for revenge. You get all that in the title.
This was my second time reading this book within the year. The first time I read it was obviously the first time I went through the series, and that's why I was like, Mambunga, we have to do this. I think maybe like 7-8 months ago now was the first time reading it, and I reread it. I think the series is just so fucking good.
I'm gonna say with this read, Golden Sun's got to kind of come down a little bit.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to have to talk about that because I really do think it's an upgrade.
I think it's a step up from Red Rising. I think I had it too high before.
Oh, I see. So the book begins. Darrow leads a fleet in a war game at the Academy against Carnus Al Bologna, showcasing his tactical prowess. His squad has old friends from House Mars from the first book. Those friends are Roke, Tactus, and this new ally. Her name is Victra. She is Antonia's older sister, and this is the end of their thing. Darrow is Primus
this is
the
the
ship.
final. This is taking his final. This is important because it sets up what a space battle looks like.
It's very important to show this because the entire first book, you could almost forget that this is a space opera.
Mars. Yeah, exactly.
Like because the entire book is on this fucking thing that could just be some fucking island or some place on Earth. It could really just
they could be a Madagascar.
Exactly. They probably. Right in the beginning of this book, it's like, no, don't forget, we conquered the entire solar system. You have to understand war in space.
I'd like to apologize for Swardic on behalf of all of our Madagascar listeners.
Come on, leave me out of this.
No, but yeah, you're 100% correct. It's a great opening, and it also puts us right into it. We're in space. We're here. We've arrived.
Let's go.
It's like going from like Harry Potter in the beginning into like the middle books.
Yeah, like Prison of Azkaban or some shit, where things are actually popping
where
up.
Like jumps. Yeah,
exactly.
You want to do the next chapter?
Yeah, go ahead.
Carnage springs a surprise attack, revealing a hidden ship. Darrow's strategic gamble is blocked by a proctor. His entire crew of golds use the escape pods. Tactus leaves without him. Darrow grabs Theodora and using the escape pods, allowing 2 Greys to join. And this man is about to die on a ship to save like 100 people. And there's like, you're fighting for like billion. And I'm like, would he do that? Would that? That's not. I mean, this man's known to be ruthless from the get go.
Darrow is known to be ruthless when it is necessary. So that's why
definitely necessary.
I guess so. Yes, it is necessary to escape, but he
ended up making that decision anyway. He came to the same conclusion.
That just to escape, to just dip.
Yeah,
but that's only because his plan was blocked by the proctor, right? So his plan was to get into that shuttle, like one of those like single pods, whatever, and get shot to Carnus's ship. That was his plan, but the proctor said, no, you can't do it.
You're saying the leader of your rebellion is out here doing suicide, Russ.
At an academy?
I
know. No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. When you look at it that way, he is making really stupid decisions. But you guys, so we have to remember that these people making all of these humongous fucking like deathly decisions in this academy where there's thousands of people, hundreds of people that die per ship for this fucking game.
I'll have to.
They're still like 20, 21 years old. These are fucking young, dumb, fucking full of cum, dude. They want to be the fucking hero. I know that there's more on Darrow. Still, he's still young and stupid. He still thinks being the hero is the way out. When you get into this academy, you have to understand if you're not in the winning person's ship, you're dying.
Yeah, you're dying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what are the odds? Like 1 in 20?
Exactly. And then there's just one left. And the one that's left in this game is Carnus's half blown up ship. So it's literally 99% of the people who died were all low colors because golds have escape pods.
Escape pods, as they should. I'm here for the gold supremacy.
There was this mini conversation with the Greys, and the Greys were like, you can't take Theodora, she's a fucking pink. I deserve to go.
Well, he's a Grey.
Yeah, and I felt kind of bad for the Grey. Technically, he's right, but the Gold's word is law, and Darrow's like, no, I need her. I did feel bad.
Please refer to the hierarchy.
Could you imagine saying that in a life or death situation?
I mean, yo, brother, if I was one of these top 4, I'll be walking around with this shit tattooed on my chest.
After the battle, Darrow reflects on the heavy toll of his decisions, realizing the cost of the lives from his tactics. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, 833 low colors. He can't sleep, but tries to mend his wounds in a hot spring. Getting out, he finds 7 members of the Bologna family, led by Karnas, waiting for him. They beat Darrow to a pulp. God, this is a low point for our main man, huh?
This dude is really missing the forest for the trees, bro. Why do you think about 833? I mean, this is crazy. I guess billions.
You really do have the perspective keyed up. But you have to understand, they was like...
Yeah, I understand. Nobody's perfect. And I mean, yeah, you can't be locked in 100%.
You can't.
Yeah, I got you. A typical book like this, he would have been winning book 2, book 3.
Exactly. So he just did it perfectly. So like we see him at like the peak, the beginning of the book. He's at the peak of his like prime as shit. But I do want to try something here. I want to share my screen because this is the first quote I want to share with you, and it's of the fight because I think it's actually pretty fucking intense.
They don't take turns coming one by one. They surround me, and they punish me with the efficiency of their deadly art, cravat. They aim for nerves, organs. I manage to stand, hit a few of my assailants, but I'm not long on my feet. Someone jams their stick into my skin, impacting the subcostal nerve. I drip down to the ground like melting wax, and Karnas kicks me in the head. I bite through half my tongue. Warmth fills my mouth. The ground is the softest thing I feel, choking on salt. Blood and air spray out of my mouth as Karnas puts his foot on my stomach, then throat. He laughs, in the words of Lorne au Arcos. If you must only wound the man, you better kill his pride.
God!
I gurgle for breath.
Yes.
Must be straight from Game of Thrones. That's the Tywin Lannister, right?
Yeah. I talk about how I enjoy the action in this book. And action is not an easy thing to write because sometimes I love the intrigue. I love the fucking world building. I love the mystery behind all of these things, the power fucking dynamics between people. So if the fighting scenes don't hit, it brings down the book so many fucking pegs. Pierce Brown is so good at this. The ground was the softest thing I felt. I bit off half my tongue. If you're not going to kill someone, make sure you kill their pride. It's just chef's kiss. It's chef's kiss. It's just so good.
2 months later, Darrow is summoned to Augustus's office. They discuss how to solve the terrorist problem. Augustus decides to sell Darrow's contract, mainly because of the blood feud he has with Cassius and the Bologna family, because he's useless, but also because of the political games.
He finishes second place. I think it's fucking harsh to say, "Hey, deuces, you're gone."
I can see why
that's fucked up, bro. It's second place.
If he's like everything's on the line and this could derail that mission. If he truly believes that, I can see it. But I also don't think that's what he's thinking.
What do you think he's thinking? He's actually useless.
He just wants revenge, bro. He just wants to win.
I think the power intrigue in this book is fantastic. They do have a conversation in this book, and they're talking about what to do about the Sons of Ares. Like, they have this entire conversation pretending that Darrow is just not in the room, and Darrow won't say a word until Augustus, like, acknowledges him. But during this conversation, Augustus is like trying to be the most brutal fucking governor of Mars in the history ever.
Tony Soprano.
Yeah, he specifically is like, listen, he says that he doesn't know how to stop it. So his decision is to force Reds to do terrorist bombing. Like, his decision is like, we're going to go down to the mines, grab a fucking couple of Reds, make sure that they blow up. And he's like, I don't want them to just blow up other Reds and fucking brown. I want them to be around blues and greens and whatever the other higher colors are, and make sure there's some dead kids. I want people to hate these motherfucking Reds. I want people to think all of this is from the Sons of Ares.
It's brilliant.
I did want to ask, because I never read any of the Game of Thrones, but the first, like, I would say 2 to 3 seasons is super epic, but it's only epic because the only action you get in the first 2 to 3 seasons of the show is of people getting the head cut off. But because the vast majority of that show, and I'm assuming the books, is the politics. I don't think this book has enough, because the glimpses of the politics that you see, you just want to chew on that meat a little bit more. Darrow is taken to Luna for the gala, where his contract will be auctioned. We find out that Theodora was a rose, a highly valued pink. I think that was just like setting the situation for Luna. You could probably read the next section, but it is nice to know that Theodora knows her way around these things. But just a quick thing about the pinks and like the fact that there's a rose and there's a pink and all of these different colors. Sometimes
Yeah.
I get a little confused by the colors. I thought obsidians and grays were the same thing for the longest time.
Damn, really? Red's at the very bottom. Then pink, obsidian, and brown.
Oh,
And then above that is gray by themselves. And then orange, violet, green, yellow, blue.
and gold.
And then copper, white, silver, then gold.
Oh, wow. See, I don't even know what the white. See, I don't even know what that color is
No,
for.
brother, no one does.
But really though, in this book, I don't think they mention any whites at all. Like I really
think-
don't.
Yeah, I don't think we see any in this book. Although the priests and priestesses.
No, they are in this book actually. They do the prayer before the war.
But yeah, I can see why it can get confusing, especially. Yeah, I can
Because
see
in your head, like obsidian and gray is the same color. I thought like obsidians were like the higher versions of grays.
you know what color obsidian is.
I thought it was like a version of gray.
It's like black. You obsidian.
Oh shit! You just typed it in Google. Okay, so they're definitely not the same colors. But back to the actual section of the book that we were on, finding out that Theodora was a pink. And I really do respect and like the relationship between Theodora and Darrow. Like Darrow is like, it's a rule for him. He doesn't use pinks and like, good for you, sir. But like Theodora is actually helpful. Later in the book, Several and Darrow have the conversation. He's just like, since I'm part of the revolution, does that mean I can't use pinks anymore? Because that's going to suck. And he's like, I'm going to sell you. I'm not gonna stop.
We need more detail. We need more.
Exactly.
We need more. We need more of everything.
It's read for like 3 chapters in the beginning of the book, and then it's been gold ever since. And it makes sense that it's gold ever since, but we want different perspective. I want build the world a little bit more. You only say these things, you only ask these questions when the book is so good, when the world building is so good. I'm not disparaging the book. I'm just saying it would be better. I want more of it.
Victra calls on Darrow. She's vulnerable with him, asking why does he keep everyone at a distance. Darrow tells her the story of the violin gift to Tactus. Victra arranges a secret meeting for Darrow with the Jackal, hinting at some risky plans. Darrow and Victra disguised as obsidians. I mean, I know he was a red and he turned gold, but I think this is a serious breach of blackface that we're seeing here.
I'm excited to see this scene in this show. So
yeah, this is gonna be fire, bro. Just the 2 dudes dressed up like Drake. I will say these 2 of my favorite characters, my boys, my guys, Tactus and Jackal.
You're insane. Okay, I thought you were gonna say Victra. I thought you were gonna say Victra and Severa. But yeah, sure, you could like Tactus and Jackal. That works too.
I was root for the underdogs.
The
Jackal's an underdog. He's just trying to survive. That Jackal and Tactus are just trying to survive. They looking out for numero uno. There's a cold universe out there, baby.
There is. When Tactus leaves your fucking ship without you. Victra flirting with Darrow, it happens a few times throughout the book. Did you feel the tension at all? Did you think it was going to happen on your first read?
Not a big fan of the romance in this specific one, I'd say. We don't know what happened with Darrow and Mustang these past like couple of years and all that, and he's trying to build that tension. But I think it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah, it falls flat. As noble as Darrow is, it just...
Why would he say no? I mean...
Yeah, exactly. There's no...
It makes no
flirting.
sense.
Yeah, so we understand you don't do pinks, but why not Victra? She seems like a dope chick. She was on your team. She seems like a good person.
I mean, how long we in space anyway? I mean, that's been nothing books, you know what I'm saying? No pinks, no nothing.
Darrow and Jackal catch up in a seedy bar surrounded by Jackal's guards. The Jackal, now a business tycoon, reveals he's called Darrow for a chat because they both dislike Pliny.
It would be such a good chapter if we had more background on the Sons of Ares, more on what the Jackal's been up to, more on what Pliny's been up to, especially.
He explains to Darrow, look, I'm the skinny dude, the fucking Praetorians, whatever, the high golds, they don't respect me because I chewed some kid. And then he explains, there's like 2 versions of power. There's like strong power, Darrow, you go fucking cut people's heads off. And then there's my power. And when they say that Jackal is this tycoon, he's buying up all of the media. He's the dude that's showing all of the fucking bombs of Sons of Ares. They should be so much more of like
it should come as a shock. Like they should hit you. The Jackal wants Darrow to lead a fight against the Sons. Darrow doesn't trust him. Still, they shake on a deal to work together. A pink woman from the Sons of Ares approaches, recognizing Darrow. The Pink and Darrow go upstairs where more members of the rebellion are waiting. They reveal a plan to kill the Jackal, putting Darrow in a tight spot. This is just typical terrorist
Typical.
Communication issue. Yeah, I mean, how many times has this happened, bro? The extremists get even more extreme, and they fracture, and this is par for the course.
We have to understand if the jackal dies here. Look, obviously, look, Pierce Brown is the author. They would be another way. Throughout this book, I question myself so often. I question Darrow so often. Why are you trusting this dude? Every single person around him is like, do not trust this motherfucker. In this situation is the only time I agree with him saving Jackal because he has no other choice. This is the only time in this entire book where I'm like, all right, trusting the Jackal here makes sense. You're saving yourself. If you have to trust him for that, great. But moving forward, I really am going to keep coming back to this because it seems like he goes out of his way to trust the Jackal unnecessarily, that for reasons I can't understand. There's this one quote that I do want to say, that this is a conversation between Jackal and Darrow. This is Darrow talking to the Jackal. You won't share. It's not in your nature. I do what I need to do. No more, no less. And I need a warlord. I'll be Odysseus. You be Achilles. And then Darrow replies, Achilles dies in the end. Then learn from his mistake. I mean, that's the Jackal.
It's very ironic that he's asking Darrow to take down the sons of Ares, and he refuses, and he has to like cajole him into making a deal. And this motherfucker's gonna do it for free.
It is fucked up, man. Like the things you need to agree to in this. Yeah, no, you're right. You're exactly right. Darrow rescues the Jackal from the bar explosion, then confronts Evie at an abandoned factory about her violent tactic. Mickey the Carver, who turned Darrow into a gold, is now with the Sons of Ares. Harmony, another rebel, insists on more aggressive moves against the gold, showing Darrow a plan for further attacks. Despite his reservations, Darrow gets pulled deeper into their schemes, shaken by a revelation about Io. We were just saying, like, him killing himself during the fucking academy seems ridiculous. But in this section, Darrow does come off as a little soft. Darrow does come off as, oh, you spent a lot of time with the goals, and now you think you can fucking theorize what the best ideas are. But you have no idea what was happening down here on the ground. And then Harmony explains her past. My husband died. My kids died in the fucking mines. And the treatment for their illnesses was available. They just said that they couldn't allow a red to get it. And then he finds out about how Io was pregnant here. That's the big surprise, the revelation about Io. And then that's what gets him to be like, fuck, I do need to do some more aggressive shit. There are millions of reds dying. Like you were saying, worrying about 833 low colors of the ship is peanuts, because there's literally millions.
Billions. There's billions, dog.
Every single day in these mines, and you're over here sobbing, right?
Dealing with a lot of grief, Darrow agrees to go along with Harmony's. Per the plan, Darrow disguises a bomb as a pendant, planning to use it at a key moment. Later, he chats with Roke about their distant relationship and personal struggles, reaffirming their bond even as Darrow drugs. So I have a real big problem with this chapter.
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay, let's hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, because look,
number one, what's your number one? What's your number one problem?
My number one problem with this is if you're blowing up the entire fucking situation, Roke is gonna hate you no matter the fucking matter
why drug him in the front?
Exactly.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
Bro. It makes no sense.
He's because you're gonna kill Roke's entire family, leave him alive, so he can just come out of his way to fucking be your number one murderer. You might as well let him die with his family, right?
Yeah, you might as well let him into that banquet.
Exactly.
It makes no sense if he's there or not. I don't understand. Like, they weren't going to come specifically for him just because Darrow did whatever he's going to do at the banquet. You know, he's still Darrow's friend at the end of the day. So if they wanted to take him, they wouldn't. Even if he's drugged.
It doesn't make any sense.
You're going to say, I wasn't involved, I was drugged.
And this is the first domino that breaks Roke.
Bomb. I don't agree how easily he agrees to be a suicide bomber. It's such a huge shift for Darrow himself. He must have been about the cause this entire 3 years, and now he's questioning it because Harmony told him a sob story. How many sob stories like this has he heard in those 3 years?
So we are to believe the way the story structure is that he finds out that he could have been a father, right? And then that's the thing that makes him like really upset. Okay, I'm gonna fucking do it. But the next chapter, the beginning of him getting ready for the gala, he's already tossing and turning in his mind. This doesn't feel right. This is not me. Like, I didn't feel that he was honestly thinking about it. Yeah, it was just like, I'm fucking pissed. These goals are fucking horrible. Let me get my fucking pound of flesh here. But immediately after that, he was like, no, I can't do this.
I can be fine with that part. But the drugging
is fucking ridiculous. It's literally the dumbest.
It's like soap opera type shit.
Yeah, come on, man. You could do better than this. Please.
I was expecting him to come out with chloroform. Oh.
At the gala, Darrow tells everyone that Roke is sick and can't make it. Darrow isn't really buying into the idea that bombing the gala would actually help the rebellion. He finds himself interacting with Karnas, who comments ominously about the evening's events and mocks Darrow's past action. Darrow, seeing Mustang and Cassius together, ooh la la, realizes the complex web of relationships and tensions at play, making him doubt the efficacy of his violent.
Darrow retrieves a hidden bomb during the gala, then challenges Cassius to a duel to defend Augustus's honor. The duel gets intense as the fight escalates. Politics play out dramatically, with Octavia trying to intervene, showcasing her favoritism. Mustang steps in to prevent Darrow from killing Cassius. By far, probably my favorite chapter in series for me. There's one other that's, I think, in Morning Star that comes close, but this one takes a cake. I think it would have been, if we had no mention of Mustang prior to this gala, it would be so much better if he just showed up here with Cassius. That would be, instead of trying to, like, drop hints along the way.
Yeah.
If it was just like, bam, she's here.
Damn.
That would have set everything off.
Yeah.
That would have set everything off, right? Also, I mean, just shitting on Cassius. Always a favorite pastime of mine.
Beautiful. he does it in the best fucking way while whipping it with the fucking.
Yeah, what is this sword? It's like a sword that you put around your arm. I mean, this has got to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard, bro. You wrap the bare blade around your arm. And then when you need to use it, you remove it and turn it up. This problem is used later on in the series.
It is. Lon Al Arcos does also think that it's the dumbest fucking thing ever. He actually dislikes the way that these young bucks are wrapping the swords around their arms. There's a button you have to click to turn it from like actual blade to the thing that will cut through everything. Not
turn to a lightsaber, right?
Exactly. A couple of things here before we get into the fucking Cassius beatdown. I did want to again show you just why I enjoy Karnas. This is Cassius and Karnas talking. He says, "You have everything, Karnas. Wealth, power, 7 brothers and sisters. How many cousins, nieces, nephews, a father and a mother who love you? Yet you are here, drinking alone, killing my friends, setting the purpose of your life to ending me. Why? Because you wronged my family. No one wrongs the Bologna and lives. So it's pride? It's always pride. Pride is just a shout in the wind." He shakes his head, voice deepening. "I will die. You will die. We all will die, and the universe will carry on without a care. All that we have is that shout in the wind, how we live, how we go, and how we stand before we fall." Love that.
That's a fire quote.
Yes, it is.
It's
just
ever
so
like
good.
defended pride to me that way. Yeah, go on. Do a thing.
These goals are nothing but pride.
Pride,
Literally,
yeah, that's all they have.
That's
And I don't know how Darrow has not understood this
from the
up
get.
until this point.
Yeah.
And then this is the point where he finally realizes, oh, I can use it against him. I love it when Cassius is like, "Do you hear that?" He asks. "I hear nothing but the wind and the throbbing of my heart. That is the sound of dying alone. No one to weep, no one to care. Arcos will care." Ooh. Yeah, I'll tell you, first time I read this, I was like, this man spent 2-3 years on a ship. He didn't learn any sword fighting. No
Exactly.
nothing.
Yeah.
Like the first time you read it, you're like, this doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
And then when it hits you, it hits.
And it's hard.
Ooh, chills when I first time I read that.
You can feel
I
the room.
can picture the room just clench up. Collectively clench.
Yeah. And then he goes into his shit where he starts really beating down on Cassius.
Yeah.
And then there's this other quote that this is Darrow when I feel like he might be going a little too far, but in the scene, it's good.
It's so good.
It feels so good. This is what he says. "Lady Bologna, are you noble enough to watch your Cassius die? Watch as he disappears from the world?" Her lips curl. She whispers to Karnas, to Cagney, "Is that the strength of House Bologna? Do you watch like sheep as the wolf comes among the fold?" The reason I mentioned this quote, I'm assuming everyone listening to this has read the book, but if you haven't read the book, rumors around Lady Bologna, Cassius's mom, Julian's mom, is that she hasn't had a meal since Julian died. Every day at the dinner table with her whole family, she has an empty plate brought to her. She opens it expecting to see fucking Darrow's heart. And when she doesn't see Darrow's heart to fucking eat, she's like, "My family doesn't love me. They don't care for me. If they did, I would have a heart on my plate so I can continue to eat." when he calls out Lady Bologna, it's just so fucking epic.
It's so
so
satisfying.
epic.
It's
Yes.
so satisfying.
You want my heart? Your second son is going to die before your eyes. Watch me kill him. It's insane.
The best part is the hypocrisy, because they killed Augustus's son also.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so stupid.
It's so good. It's so good.
After a chaotic escape, Augustus and his supporters, minus Mustang, who stays behind, navigate through a brutal scene where Gold families feud violently. Their escape route via the hangar is compromised. Their ships forced away earlier by Octavia's strategic planning. They immediately find themselves surrounded by an overwhelming force of Praetorians led by the Rage Knight Fitchner. Augustus accuses Fitchner of doing Octavia's bidding, but Fitchner is guided by his own conscience and argues they all are servants. Quote, glory damn slaves to the one with the scepter, end quote. Fitchner hits Augustus first and then Jackal with a stun fist before addressing Darrow and placing them under arrest.
I mean, I like this chapter also.
This is like the section of the book you can't put down.
You can't. You don't drop from the moment they enter.
Yeah. You cannot stop. You cannot stop. What are your thoughts on Fitchner's glow up? The fucking Rage Knight? Fitchner? The Mr. Pop Belly from Mars?
But I think it's like hinted it in Red Rising.
When? I don't think there's any hints.
But there's hints that like, oh yeah, the way the other proctors treat him.
So the thing is, they treat him like he's very capable, but they also treat him like he's the lesser of all of them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but he also curses in their face and they do nothing.
Exactly. So. Okay, no, you're right. A big part of Red Rising was reminding Darrow the quickness in which Gold will go to like duels and battles is so severe. So the fact that we saw several make fun of the other Golds, the fact that we saw Fitchner talk shit to the other proctors was a big deal because
they never challenged.
Yeah, because they never challenged. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, him becoming Red Knight, that's a serious glow up. I ain't gonna lie.
Serious.
With the pot belly is crazy.
That's the thing that gets me the whole time, right? All of these goals are like the idea of perfection. They want to be perfect. He's like, I don't give a shit. Again, remember, this is Augustus, the fucking arch governor of Mars. And the Rage Knight, Fitchner, stun fists him right in the face, and then his son. Without any fear or thing.
Hesitation. I think we need to know the power structure of this universe at this point.
A little more. Yeah, because
by the time we got here, we should have already known
where the Rage Knight sits in the hierarchy of the goals.
Yeah, all we know is that he reports to Octavia. I mean, and that some nights are here, some nights are there, but the
question is, doesn't everyone report to Octavia? So like you're right. We don't know that hierarchy. We have no idea.
We don't know how much power she wields herself. I mean, we're told she led a coup against her father, but we don't have like an actual. I mean, we get a little bit of it like later, but it would have been great if we got it before this.
And a quick quote on the way up from the actual gala to when they're trying to escape, they're in the elevator. Darrow has this one of Augustus's proctors or Praetorians holding on to her, and she's like bleeding out, and Augustus is like, get rid of her, she's about to die, stop wasting time, right? And then this is just another quote that I really like.
Many of the other Golds, the praetors, the knights, the martial men and women in particular, and we have more in proportion to our politicos and economists than most houses, wipe their brows, leaving ruddy smears. These are the sort of Golds who would tell you the problem with being a Gold is that everyone is already conquered, means no one worth fighting, no one to use all that training and all that power against. Well, I just gave them a fresh taste of battle, and even though their governor's ward is dead, even though their chief praetor bleeds out on my shoulder and Mustang is in enemy hands, they want to play, and making corpses is the game of the day. Old and young look at me hungrily, waiting to be fed. This is what it's like being the Alpha, the Primus. The others look to you for guidance. They can smell the tangy odor of blood on you before it's even there. Age doesn't matter. Experience doesn't matter. All that matters is that I provide these sick sons of bitches with fresh kills.
It's just
great quote.
Red Rising was the training that all of these praetors and Praetorians have to go through. But then once they graduate, it's like, okay, now it's just politics. Now it's just fucking
they've already conquered. Yeah.
So what I want to kill. And then Darrow gives them a taste and they just fucking, they're ready. They're just fucking ready.
I love this section because, especially since it's callback, especially later in other books, and how he uses that need to fight for him, for his cause. And you can see how easily he loses it in the next couple of chapters and how it slips. And then he learns from that. But I was gonna say, shout out to my boy who gone but never forgotten.
You talking about Leto?
I
Fancy-
I forgot about him until I read that quote. I can see this is a recurring theme because he does the same shit with who was Golden Boy in prison?
Priam or Priam. I don't know. Yep.
Priam. Yeah, he does it. This is the second time he's done this.
He lifts someone up all the way.
Yeah, like I'm excited for this new challenger, and then boom, shot in the head.
But this one was unfair. You know this one is unfair because your favorite character, the fucking Jackal, just not suicided him. Fucking
He saw his opportunity. He took it.
Okay, I guess, but goddamn, how is Leto? I'm supposed to see that coming. It's impossible. But that's what happens when you fuck around with the Jackal.
Should have had his hand in the swivel. I don't know what to tell you. Adventure takes Darrow to Octavia, the sovereign. Darrow criticizes her for showing favoritism and weakness. I mean, come on. Criticizing an emperor. I mean, it's the people never learn. In the presence of Asia, Finchner, and Octavia's grandson, Lysander. Darrow claims that his actions were driven by survival. Octavia acknowledges the influence of Lorne, Lysander's grandfather, in arguments. She offers Darrow a new home, trying to secure his loyalty, but he initially refuses and almost fights to please stop him. Octavia then proposes a game of honesty to further.
Let me read the next section. Let me read the next section because it's part of that game. In the tense confrontation, Octavia uses scorpion-like creatures, oracles, to ensure truthfulness. Darrow's wrists is bound by one such oracle, set to sting if he lies. Octavia challenges him with questions about his loyalties and knowledge of Ares. He navigates her questions without revealing too much. Mustang's sudden appearance disrupts the intense interrogation. Cleverly, Darrow questions Octavia's involvement in a plot against Augustus, leading to her being stung by the oracle, indicating her dishonesty to Mustang.
This is the first time I think I respect Darrow for his brains.
Yeah, for his strategy.
There's a little bit of questioning. I think. Are you taking this job offer? This is a solid job offer. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, for real,
You're
100%
at the highest.
Exactly.
Yes. Immediate. You can also influence the grandson. I mean, there's a lot of pros here. Doesn't she offer to kill Cassius also?
She offers him literally everything that he would want from her perspective of the gold. What else would Darrow want in this situation? Yeah, if he was just another gold, the answer would be yes right now. I'll be the one to cut Augustus's head off for you.
Everybody he cares about is secure with this offer, and all his enemies disappear.
It's gone immediately.
Thanks for a boring book, but it's
But you have to remember on Darrow's strategic thinking, his goal is get a civil war within the gold. If he takes this job, Augustus is gone, and then that just solidifies Octavia's power even more. But my question to you was, on your first read, the quickness in which Mustang was like, okay, you can go ahead and kill my father, kind of shook me.
That's why I wish she hadn't showed up. They hadn't mentioned it earlier at all, or our first introduction of her is at the gala.
Yeah.
Because if we see her there first, and she's only ever talking, she doesn't talk to her family. She only talks to Cassius and the Bolognas.
Then there would be so much
doubt.
Yes. No, you're right.
And that's what we're missing. Yeah, I'm confused, but I know she's not. She's not the Jackal.
Another one of these longer quotes, but this is just because we're talking about the greatness that Octavia is. I just want you guys to listen because I love it.
I stand before her. She sits on a couch by a fire. Everything is Spartan, hard, cold. A gold woman of iron and stone. All this drabness, as if to say she needs not luxury or wealth, just power. Her face is creased, but not faded by time. 100 years, or so I hear, not cracked by the pressures of office. If anything, pressure has made her like those diamonds she scattered, unbreakable, ageless, and she will be without age for some time longer, if the carvers continue their cellular rejuvenation therapy. That is the problem. She will cling to power far too long. A king reigns, and then he dies. That is the way of it. That is how the young justify obeying their elders, knowing it will one day be their turn. But when their elders do not leave, when she rules for 40 years and may rule for 100 more, what then? She is the answer to that question. This is not a woman who inherited the morning throne. This is a woman who took it from a ruler who had not the courtesy to die in a timely fashion. For 40 years others have tried to take it from her, yet here she sits, timeless as those fabled diamonds.
After seeing what's going on with Biden and Trump and how old these motherfuckers are, at some point you really have to say, okay, it's the next generation's turn. Bro. Yeah, damn.
Go retire or something, bro. Y'all don't want to retire?
That's everyone's goal, but not people in power. They just want to fucking just until the last breath is out of it.
After Finchner removes the oracle from Octavia's wrist, Mustang confronts Octavia about her deceit and plots against her family. Octavia tries to justify her actions by labeling Augustus as a threat to society's stability. Octavia suggests that eliminating Augustus, who is behind Eo's death, could pacify the masses, the rebels, I mean. Mustang. Mustang, though hesitant, ultimately agrees to Octavia's plan.
So we definitely we talked about that before we read that section.
Not all masses are rebels.
Yeah, only the brave ones. Picture shows Darrow to a luxurious new room, leaving him with words of encouragement. A mysterious box is delivered to his room. Inside the box, Darrow finds a hollow cube with a warning from Mustang. Suddenly, the power cuts out and Severo, along with 9 howlers, burst in to rescue Darrow. Severo discloses that they have Lysander hostage, adding another layer to their escape plan. The crew is fucking back, bro. Severo comes blasting in like a bat out of hell. It's kind of crazy.
I don't think I believe them taking the grandson.
Yeah, he would have been so
he'd be guarded by like the greatest
Praetorian, like fucking
I mean, if
Obsidians, the whole
Asia, Aya, whatever her name is, however their name is not standing right next to him, then he's guarded by like 10 people. You know?
Yeah, and they never even mentioned how it happened, but I'm assuming Mustang was like, I want to talk to Lysander. She's in the court. Everyone trusts her. So I'm assuming she was just like, come over, Lysander. Let's talk about what just happened. And then she was like, get into this bag or I'll kill you.
This is not the grandson you were looking for.
You're right. The craziest thing, and they don't mention that it's Lysander. And I didn't even know, like, on the first.
Yeah, they just describe a sack.
I don't know. I just thought it was a different hostage. I didn't think it would.
Yeah. I agree. I thought it was a hostage. I didn't know it was.
Yeah, because that's huge. That's fucking.
Also takes big hostage like a G. Probably gets kidnapped weekly at this point. I'm assuming with that security detail.
It's the worst security in the history.
Level.
This is when the action gets back going.
Darrow leading Severo and the Howlers. They join an ongoing battle with Augustus's forces. Darrow threatens Aya with the life of the hostage, Lysander to secure the escape. Despite Aya's disgust, Mustang's timely arrival with the ship helps him get away.
Why didn't she leave before fucking Darrow? Why is she waiting in the back?
Do people not understand how hostages work?
Right? It's like, what's going on here? Thing that I actually like about this stupid decision by Quinn is that it shows how fucking hardcore Aja. Because in this scene, they talk about holy shit, like, yeah, and everyone was like, yeah, she had her whole fucking metal arm fist and she was like blazed up with the whole thing. And then Darrow's like, no. She did that shit with her bare fucking hands. 5 shots to the head, like boom, 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 boom. Like, you know, in that Batman scene, that's still what I imagine Aja doing to Quinn's face. And it's just epic. It's just really epic.
She's actually Achilles.
She really is. Yeah. In a tense escape sequence, Darrow, the Jackal, and Quinn flee to the ship. The Jackal urgently summons medical help for Quinn. Or does he? Whose condition is critical. As Quinn undergoes emergency procedures, Rogue, who harbors deep feelings for her, tries to comfort her. Victor arrives with Lysander, and they go into the cockpit where they find Augustus, Pliny, Cavex, and Mustang. After updating them, Darrow says of Octavia's offer was tempting since it demonstrated that Octavia, unlike Augustus, respects him. Augustus apologizes, then addresses Lysander, comparing him to Claudius. Tactus offers to take Lysander to the passenger bay, but betrays the others and flies away to take Lysander back.
I mean, the reason for Tactus to take Lysander, I mean, it's not a bad reason, you know. He's trying to look out for himself, numero uno. But the upside, the risk versus reward of going Darrow and Augustus is so much higher when you have only air.
There's no chance of that ship being blown up. There's no chance of whatever. Like,
they'd make it to Mars, they would actually have a full-on civil war.
Exactly. Like, I don't want to say at this point it's like flipping a coin 50-50. It's probably something like 30-70. The momentum is with the momentum is with Augustus. All of the people that you know are in that ship with you. The backstory of Tactus is his family makes fun of him because he's always following Darrow, right? Yeah. So I can understand him wanting to get out from underneath his shadow, and this is a great way to do that. The peak that he would be under Darrow is much higher than the peak if he just decides to take Lysander back to Octavia. You might get like
just known as a backstabber.
Exactly. A small quote here that I really love of Augustus, because at this point they think that he was they're all gonna die, And Augustus
Yeah.
says, whether missiles or boarding craft come, die like goals. Augustus says solemnly to us, not because he wishes us to think him strong in his last moments, but because he believes in what he is, a superior being, a master of his human frailty. For him, death is merely the ultimate frailty. Humans whimper when they die. They claw for life even if there is no hope. He will not. Death is not grander than his pride. And like you said,
I love that gold pride.
exactly. And like you said, this book is just, again, like shoving that point down your throat. It is pride. That's all they fucking
All
have.
it is.
It's
Yeah.
pride. Die like a goal. Die with your pride. There's nothing more important, right? So it's just epic.
Darrow quickly adapts to a new escape strategy as their chances dwindle under Octavia's pursuing fleet. Augustus faces the grim possibility of their demise, but Darrow concocts a daring plan, reminiscent of the Academy. Here we go. He and Severus suit up in star shells, robotics exosuits, aided by Victra, who shares a poignant moment with Darrow before Mustang launches them towards the enemy ship. Look at Darrow getting his. I mean, he could have got 2-for-1. That was on the table. That was on the table.
It was not on the table. Mustang was not on the table for a 2-for-1.
He and Severus suit up in star shells, which, if anyone hasn't read the book, basically it's like goes in a torpedo tube and like wraps around the person, and then they just get launched out of the ship. I can't believe this. Never been used against another ship before. Before this guy thinks.
Well, they haven't used it against another ship with a human in it.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. You use this bomb.
Yeah.
Right.
Just another little funny quote when Severo and Darrow are talking to each other. Audantes fortuna juvat. Severo chuckles. Fortune favors the bold. This is Darrow speaking to Severo. You deserve to die if that's really going to be the last thing you say in this life. Yes, well, you may suck my... And then it cuts off because they get shot out of the thing. They do imply that Severo shits himself in the ride over.
I think they both do.
No, Darrow got turned into a gold, and throughout the book, Darrow mentions it himself that Mickey the Carver made him a little bit more strong, a little stronger than the average gold, right? And then in the future,
you're right.
And in the future, you do learn that Severo is technically half red, right? Spoiler alert, sorry. And he's doing every single fucking thing that Darrow does. Darrow's number one for every insane mission is Severo. It always is Severo, and he's right there with him all day, 24/7. The respect and the hats off to Severo is just, you can't say it enough, but Severo is that fucking dude. After a rough impact, they deal with the chaos on the bridge. In a fierce skirmish, Darrow and Severo defend the blues and overcome the attacking golds, grays, and obsidians. Darrow then demotes the blue captain and ensures Mustang's ship can dock. He renames the ship Pax and appeals to the low colors to ally against the golds, emphasizing mutual dependence for survival. Amidst this, a formidable obsidian Ragnar declares allegiance to Darrow. So much happens in this scene. This is my favorite in this, and there's multiple reasons, okay? Number one, I think it's just genius the way he gets to the low colors to do what he says, and I have a quote. I'll let you play. I'll play that for you in a hot second. But we were mentioning how his strategic planning was moving forward. I think this is the very first time in the book you can see the ultimate goal of having the low colors be a part of his revolution. Because right now, prior to this moment, when he makes that speech about you guys need to join me and kill the golds on the ship, prior to this moment, he's just dealing with the gold and the golds only and trying to have them fight within each other. This is the first time in the book he lets the low colors do their things. That's number one. And then the other part is we get introduced to Ragnar, and I just think it's fucking epic.
Let's be very, very clear here.
What?
Ragnar is carrying maybe like 70% of this mutiny. People are following at this point. Because the Obsidians and Ragnar are just mowing through the gold.
Yes. It's crazy. But yeah, this is the quote.
If I vent you into space, there will be no one to stop them from killing me. So, you see, you are my salvation, and I am yours. I will not sacrifice 20,000 of you to kill 61 of my enemies. I chose this vessel above all others because of its crew, the best the society can offer. To me, you are not expendable. So what I ask of you is this. Choose me as your commander, and overwhelm those golds who think you expendable. You have my permission, my warrant, and the badge of the Arch-Governor of Mars, Nero Au Augustus, to capture or kill your gold commanders for me. Take their weapons and subdue them, Then make fast the ship against the invaders who come to destroy us. Do it now. If you wait, they will kill you. I will know the first men and women to rise up. As your new master, I will reward you. The Arch-Governor will reward you. Do it now, for I have just opened every armory throughout the ship. Seize weapons and neutralize the tyrants.
He's letting him know that you have the okay to uprise, but I don't think
I mean, it's strategically genius move.
exactly.
I mean, set the precedent immediately for the Civil War. Nothing is off the table regarding the low colors. And then also, I mean, I'll remember the first among you. Brother, I am sprinting to get that gun. Get one shot and then hide in the back.
Why hide in the back? Why hide in the back?
I'm assuming there's gonna be some obsidians in the front. I'll just shoot, peek around the corner, shoot. Might hit a goal this so, you know.
I think it is very, very important what you said.
Oh, you'd also be hiding in the back?
No, I think no, it's important. It's very important that you said they allow the uprising, and there is no other way to tell folks that there is no bar, there is nothing that the low colors can't do, because his first call to action for the low colors is to kill gold.
And that's his Augustus's order.
But first of all, just to tell you who the narrator is is Tim Gerard Reynolds. And then real quickly, I love this scene, this section so much. I just want you to hear his voice for Ragnar. This is Ragnar's introduction.
Child Andromedus, I am Ragnar Valaris, the stained firstborn of my mother, Alia Snow Sparrow, of the Valkyrie spires north of the Dragon's Spine, south of the Fallen City, where the winged horror flies, brother of Sephi the Quiet, breaker of Tanos, which once stood by the water, and I make you an offering of stains.
I thought he was gonna be like Scandinavian or something. It sounds like he's Welsh or something.
Weren't they all pirates and Vikings and all of that shit? So you would think once they go to space.
I thought he'd be like called Drogo.
The last gold he kills before introducing himself to Darrow, he squeezes a gold's head with his hand and crunches the fucking skull. The baddest motherfucker in the series, pretty much. Darrow selects a blue named Orion as a new captain of the Pax. As they navigate a battle, Darrow declares their actions as a response to Octavia's betrayal. Darrow uses a recording device given by the Sons of Ares to help the Jackal create propaganda. Exhausted but resolute, Darrow continues to support his team, including an intense yet emotional moment where he reunites with several. I wish we had spent more time in the Naval Academy, Starship Academy, whatever it's on, so we can actually understand why it's important that. I mean, this blue hierarchy musical chairs that's going in the background, I can't give two shits about. He doesn't know this kind of math. She doesn't know that kind of math. It's like so
pointless. I mean, you've never explained it in the book before.
So you don't know what these insults mean. You don't know what any of it means.
I mean, we're doing a lot of inferring on this one here. When we were at the academy to begin with, why not just show like how a ship works? I know Orion is continued as the series goes on.
Darrow confides in Severo about Quinn, leading to a deeper conversation where Severo scorns the society and Darrow. Quote, I came for you because my father told me what you are, end quote. Nervous, Darrow questions his meaning. Severo forces Darrow to guess who sent him. And Darrow guesses Mustang, then Lorne, and then Fitchner before Severo spits in his face and threatens to leave. In a leap of faith, Darrow guesses Ares.
I think I can't believe I missed this the first time. Really can't believe I missed this the first time I read. There's a huge clue in here. It's so obvious.
What was the clue? I missed it.
I came for you because my father sent me.
But about this section, the conversation that he has, and Severo has all the right in the fucking world to spit in his face. Severo's like, I came here to this fucking gala, not because you asked me, because Mustang told me that you needed it, number one. Number two, I came from fucking Pluto. It was like a 6-month trip, Negro. I came here from Pluto. Can you not trust me with anything?
Yeah, from Darrow's perspective, I mean, brother, billions of people are at stake here. I'm not trusting nobody. I don't care if you're family. I don't care who you are.
You literally can't tell him the truth about who you are without telling him that you work for the Sons of Ares. Like, no gold would ever be like, yeah, let's try getting a red to become a gold. It is such a huge leap of faith. But if there is a person that deserves it, it is Severo. And the way that Severo takes it is just so beautiful.
What would happen if someone spit in your face?
I mean, after you win a war together, or at least a battle together, he's in this situation. I understand why Severo did. Because he's like, look, this is it. If you can't trust me now, we're not friends. All in or nothing. That's it. I'm not fucking doing this anymore. Where I'm over
I
here.
love the parallel. He had the same opportunity to tell Mustang but didn't.
Oh yes.
But he tells Severo though, bros before hoes. Severo gives Darrow a whisper gem message from Ares, revealing a betrayal within the Sons of Ares and urging Darrow to keep stirring chaos among the gold. Emotionally overwhelmed, Darrow finds comfort in Severo's acceptance. And
during a meal, Darrow and Mustang discuss the flaws in their society's structure. Their conversation also touches on Mustang's manipulative relationship with Cassia, aimed at protecting her family and Darrow, and her warnings about the unpredictable dangers posed by the Jackal. Later, Darrow reaffirms his shaky alliance with the Jackal, plotting further against their common enemies. That is the first 2 parts and the first half.
I mean, he really has no point. He's all in with Augustus at this point.
He has a choice in trusting the Jackal as much as he has trust. After the whole,
maybe he goes too far. I don't know why.
yeah, the conversation between Mustang and Darrow seemed a little blah to me, right?
I think it's the worst part of this book is their relationship throughout it. First of all, he does a way better job in the other books
for their relationship.
Yeah.
Red Rising, obviously, that's where they're meeting, and that's where you see the butterfly. That's the appeal in the first book. But you're right, the second book does feel a little off. It's just not appealing. It's not a part of the book I'm interested in, and when it is between the two of them, it's
not interesting enough.
The only other thing we're going to do here is show you the cast of the hope that we might have for this TV show that's coming out. Just a reminder of the people that we had. Austin Butler is Darrow. EO is Anya Taylor-Joy, which I think doesn't make any sense. EO's in the series for like 5
I think you can kid anybody. I mean, sure,
exactly.
If literally, the book and they want to do a cameo, I can see it, but no actor.
No one of her like level of fame. Idris Elba as Augustus, I think would be.
I do like that pick. I think that's a great choice. I like making the Augustus black. I like
do
that
too. Zendaya is Mustang.
Bodies.
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 As Jackal, I think that would be so dope.
That's great. That's a great choice.
As Jackal, I'm not so sure about Cassius being William Poulter. I feel like it makes sense. I don't think he has a hateful enough face. We have pictures as John Turturro. We've got Roke as Simu Liu. We haven't seen him do much, so I feel like that would be. I switched Antonia because last time I had Antonia as Jenna Ortega. But because Victra is such a bigger character, I'm like, let's have Jenna Ortega be Victra instead of.
I don't agree with her being either.
Oh no?
No.
She's too big of a star to play that small of a character.
Victra, you got Anya Taylor-Joy right there. It's in your list.
It's in the list. Dave Bautista as Ragnar. I mean, like, who's a bigger, badder dude? Yeah. And then this is the pick. Did you have the same person?
I think I got the same person.
That's what I'm telling you. Liam Neeson would be the best fucking Lornar arc.
Oh, you went for the easy choice, bro.
He would be so good.
Liam Neeson.
Yes.
He's already done that. He's done that for Batman. He's done that for Obi-Wan. He's done that for everybody under the sun. Like, he's Liam Neeson. That's too obvious.
Okay, so who would you want for Arcos?
You watch Shogun?
Oh shit! Yes, I do know Shogun. I know who you're talking about. The Sovereign, I have Viola Davis.
Yes, I can see that.
And then these two, I have torn between Aja.
I would choose a chick from James Bond.
Lashana Lynch. You said you'd prefer Lashana Lynch.
Yeah, I think
Gwendolyn Christie.
The way she's described is very she's not described like a big person.
She's just the shit.
Yeah, she's just really, really fucking.
Yeah. And Lashana Lynch in Woman King, and James Bond, you're right, showed that action is in her, it's just a forte. It's just part of what she does. For Pliny, believe it or not, I wanted to pick Kevin Spacey, but I was like, I don't know if the people
Kevin Spacey is a great choice. Great choice.
For Pliny,
he's slimy as shit.
Exactly.
Play that.
He would play it so well. I feel like he would just be the perfect fucking slime ball Pliny.
Yeah, I can see Billy Bob Thornton.
Okay. I can't disagree with that. And then for Carlos Bologna, I couldn't pick anyone because he's supposed to be young, but he's also supposed to be huge and jacked. And I really do believe that these new young actors are fucking scrawny. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Golden Sun for you. No, that's the part 1 of the Golden Sun. You see how in depth that we went into the details of this book. We absolutely love this book. If you agree how great this book is, tell us in the comment section below your favorite section of part 1. All right, until next time, deuces.